Welcome to Both Sides of the Coin, joined by Adam Goldstein, CPA. Tax season's over. He could
Yes,
finally
sir.
relax. Look at the
No.
different background. He looks very relaxed.
I'm not
JV Ellis,
relaxed at all.
it's Wednesday night. If you're looking for Confidential, that was last night. Sports Arena, you just missed. But now it's time for Both Sides of the Coin. We're going to fight. We're going to argue. We'll shake hands when it's over, and I'll be right. And Adam will have to go gamble or lose some money or get some money, whatever he does there. So let's talk. What's going on, Adam? How you doing?
I don't know. I'm too busy winning, as usual, because I win these arguments. Thank you very much. Nice try. Nice try. It was a good try. It was a good try. Subtle jab, but, I just bobbed and weaved and just socked it right back at you.
That was the most Charlie Sheen comment I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, when you win, you win. What can I say? It's like the Sixers, Joel Embiid. Squish. You like that? You like that? Current events right there just happened. I'm watching it on my screen right in front of me.
Yeah,
I was trying. No, they're going to win that series. It's up 3-0.
Oh, not this series, but they'll find a way to lose.
We'll see. In any event, I was trying to broadcast from the. I'm at Harrah's. I'm on my vacation after tax season vacation because I'm exhausted. But I was gonna try to do this from the. I don't know if you've ever been to Harrah's. They have a sports area with 25 different screens and everything. But it was really loud, and I didn't think I could face the screens because there's a security guard there. And so it's I would have to face the casino, and it's what fun is that? So I just came to an area that's a lot more quiet. Is it super loud? It doesn't seem like it is.
It's loud, but it's not horrible. And you're on location. It happens.
It is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, why don't we get right down to it? And it's going to be a shorter show today because, like I said, I'm on vacation, and it's end of tax season. I'm exhausted. But there's a couple things I wanted to talk about. First thing, I think we should just at least touch on this and then get into the second main one. LeBron James.
Okay, let's start with LeBron.
I think I really have a problem with LeBron James right now. Not that I don't always have a problem, but I really have a problem with him because there's something, and actually it's a good thing about it. Something I saw about Enes Kanter.
Okay.
Did you see that about him? He posted an article or a quote about how the NBA is trying to push him out because he's talking about China and the atrocities going on in China. And
no, I did not.
Yeah, he was talking about that, how they're trying to intentionally move him out of the NBA. And he's like,
really?
I can still play. I'm an NBA player. And he called out LeBron. And he's like, LeBron is a social justice warrior and talks about how all these victims like him. But as soon as it comes to talking about China, which is actual real people dying in a genocide, well, they're paying me lots of money, so I'm just going to shut up. And that's my problem, is I just feel like he's such a hypocrite. I'm not talking about what he's trying to stand for. Forget about that. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. That's not my point. My point is that if you are for human rights in general, okay,
right,
and you're taking money from one of the worst human rights regimes in the world, it's almost the equivalent of taking money from Hitler. That's how bad China has become. Literally, I am not afraid to say that that's how bad China is right now because they are putting people in homes and soldering them in their homes. Literally, that's what they're doing right now. In Beijing, they've not only locked them in, they've welded their doors shut so they can't leave. Think about that for a second. They have a mass genocide going on with the Uyghurs, but none of that matters because they pay them money. And Enes Kanter called them out, and I think it's great. I think that's what needs to happen. He was talking about how they stopped playing Celtics games when he was playing, or they stopped covering them on national TV. And listen, if I would have a lot more respect for LeBron if he actually took the hard road, because I dislike him a lot, but I would have a lot more respect for him if he took the hard road and stood up to China and said, even though they're paying me lots of money, screw them. If he did that, I would take a lot back of what I've said about him and actually respect him.
So, question on that. Why is it LeBron's responsibility to stand up to China?
Why is it LeBron's responsibility to stand up for social justice and be the face of that in the NBA?
He chooses to, but why does he have to choose? Why does he have to choose China?
because he has no problem taking their money. But if somebody criticizes them, he's silent. He doesn't want to talk about that. He doesn't want to bite the hand of the golden goose. That's my problem. They pay him a ton of money, so he doesn't care what they do. That's my problem. He's totally silent to it. Stand up for if you actually believe in justice and social justice, then it should be more than just what directly impacts. It doesn't even directly impact him. It directly impacts where he came from. But at the same time, he's the face of the NBA. Is he not?
He most certainly is, yeah.
So then is it not his responsibility to stand up for just causes? That's what he's all about. So he gets to pick and choose. So he's okay. It's totally okay for him to stand up for his social justice warrior, whatever he wants to stand up for. That's okay. But if he takes money from Hitler, that's okay too. I understand. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. It really adds to his credibility, the fact that he's totally okay with standing up for social justice, just not the social justice that he doesn't want to stand up. I get it. It's totally okay. Doesn't make him a hypocrite at all.
Why should he have to stand up for something he chooses not to?
Because why is he taking money from people that are legitimate victims of genocide? Why they are committing genocide? I don't understand this. I don't understand it. So it's okay for him to talk on television about how there are freedoms that African Americans don't get in this country that other people, white people, do. That's okay. But the same type of people who have zero freedoms in China, that's okay. We'll take tons of money from them. They kill people. That's fine. That's fine. As long as they keep paying us the money. That's all that matters. He's a sellout. He only cares about money. If he actually cared about true social justice issues, he would stand up against China. And he doesn't. He cares about money. And that's fine. That's okay to care about money. That's not the point. My point is that you can't have both. You either care about money or you care about social justice issues. It's one or the other.
See, my thing is, why does he have to? You can't care about any social justice issues if you.
It's a hypocritical statement. There are human rights that are being abused. There's a mass genocide happening, and he's taking money from people that are committing mass genocide, and that's okay.
Not disagreeing with you on what your point is, but why is?
I'm saying he's a hypocrite. He doesn't have to. I'm just saying he's a hypocrite, and I lose all respect for him. That's why.
I'm not getting why he's a hypocrite, though. Why does he have to stand up for that?
Because if you stand up for social, if we're talking on the totem pole of things, genocide and killing people is a lot worse than social justice.
To you?
I think to everybody. Social justice and equality is extremely important, but so is life. Life, the most important thing that takes precedence over everything. And when somebody is committing mass genocide, like Adolf Hitler or Xi Jinping, taking money from that person is the worst thing that you can do, in my opinion. Like, stand up. You can take money from him, but stand up against him. But he won't, because he won't get any money from them. That's my point. It's about the money. It's not about the issues.
Okay, whether it be about the money or not, you can't say that
he's a sellout.
He has to choose. He doesn't have to choose that issue.
He doesn't have to do anything. Sure,
right.
He doesn't have to. I don't disagree with you. He's still a sellout.
Why is he a sellout?
And a sellout?
How is he a hypocrite?
Because human rights are what he's standing for, just not the humans that he doesn't care about.
But why does he need to care? I'm not saying he shouldn't, but why does he need to?
Because that's the culture that he perpetuates. That's the entire culture. That's the whole leftist ideology.
I don't get it. Explain.
So, in today's world, okay, it's all about everybody's equal, right? Everybody's equal. Nobody is lesser than any other person, right? We're all the same. We're all equal, right?
Right.
Except if you're a Muslim and you're in China. You're not on the same wavelength. You can get killed. It's okay. If you're a Muslim, that's okay. But if you're an African American living in America, not getting the same rights that you feel you're not getting, whether you're right or wrong, then that's the end of the world, and that needs to be addressed way before people die.
But maybe his plate's full. Maybe he doesn't feel he can add anything to the cause.
He doesn't need to add anything. All he has to do is say, I'm not taking money from China because they're killing people.
Right. So he should give up money to, 10 generations down the line. He has mouths to feed. Why should he give up money?
So you're saying if Adolf Hitler was willing to pay you $1 million, you would say, yes, please?
Absolutely not. But that's me.
Why? It's money. You have mouths to feed.
I do have mouths to feed.
Right.
But
so it's $1 million.
That's me. I can make that choice the same way LeBron can make the choice to take money from China.
LeBron has a lot more money than you do.
He does. And he has that
so he's
right.
a greedy bastard.
Now, if you want to call him that, by all means.
Sure, he's a greedy bastard hypocrite. Exactly.
I can't say he's a hypocrite because
he
chooses not to go down the road of that course.
It's not to go down the road. It has nothing to do with that. You either support human rights or you don't.
Maybe he doesn't.
Okay, then I don't want to hear him talk about social justice because that's the same cause. We're talking about human rights. Cause. We're talking about human rights. That's the root of it, is human rights. So you either care about them or you don't.
So we're not going to agree on this topic. I think, he has the ability to make up his mind.
Having the ability to do it is totally different than being a hypocrite.
Not being a hypocrite. He chooses not to put his foot in that water.
But it is being a hypocrite because you're taking money from people who abuse human rights.
We're going to disagree.
Stand up for human rights or you don't. It's one or the other. You can't just say, well, you can go and kill white people, that's okay. But black people, no. Or vice versa. It's the same thing. You can kill Muslims, okay? They don't deserve to live. That's okay. But white people, they deserve to live.
No. Has he made that statement?
Yes, by taking money from them.
I disagree. Taking money doesn't mean you're making that statement.
What? Okay. So, let me ask you this. Do you think we should be taking money from Russia right now?
No.
Oh, why not?
Why should what do we need their money for? They have enough trouble right now.
Okay.
So if
LeBron is taking money from Russia, does that make him a hypocrite?
No. He has every right to make money however he sees fit.
I'm not saying he doesn't have a right. These are two different issues. There are two different issues.
It doesn't make him a hypocrite. It's just not his thing. LeBron James is into making money for LeBron James. LeBron James is about LeBron James.
Sure, that's fine.
That doesn't make him a hypocrite.
Yes,
it doesn't make him a hypocrite.
Yes,
it makes him about LeBron James.
No, it makes him a hypocrite because he doesn't actually care about social justice issues.
Let's talk about social justice. Let's move it along because we're not going anywhere with this. We're going to disagree, and I'm going to be right on this one for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Brittany Griner. She went to jail in Russia for having a vape, a marijuana vape in Russia, which is illegal. And coincidentally, the timing was as bad as could be for Brittany Griner as it was as the war in Ukraine went down.
I mean, I can't fathom how dumb you have to be to do that. I literally, the arrogance is just, the arrogance is palpable because she literally felt like she was above the law. That's the only reason to do it. Think about this for a second, okay? If you're in New York, right?
Right.
And the gun laws in New York are super strict, right?
Yeah.
Plaxico Burress, perfect example, right? Walks into a club with a gun and shoots himself. okay, and then gets arrested and goes to jail, basically ends his NFL career, right? Why is that? Because the law was the law and he didn't respect it. He was arrogant and thought he was above the law. And what happened? He found out real quick he was not above the law. And the same thing is here. She thought she was above the law because when you go into other countries, okay, you've been into other countries, okay, the last thing you want to do is be in jail in another country because
not necessarily. There are some countries where being in jail may be better than the lives we have right now. But that's besides the point.
Huh?
There are some countries that have very good jail systems where,
you would rather be in jail in another country than free in America.
Not necessarily my life, but compared to some people in our
country. She is
not
a political prisoner. She got arrested before it happened. That's BS. That's total BS.
In all honesty, she totally is. This would have been resolved already. This would have been completely resolved already diplomatically. If
disagree completely.
Disagree completely. How do you figure? What hand do we have in getting her out in this situation?
But that's besides the point. That doesn't make her a political prisoner.
It does right now. It does on the basis of the fact that she would be free. This is a completely accurate statement.
No, it's not.
If the whole Ukraine thing was going on, she would be free.
If it happened a year or two ago, she would be free because Donald Trump would have been the president and he would have got her out. Biden doesn't know the difference between his asshole and a hole in the ground. That's the main reason that she's not out, because he's a freaking moron. Even though she is an anti-Trump, but that's besides the point. Why doesn't it make sense? Why doesn't it make sense? Nobody was harder on China or Russia than Trump was.
That makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. If the war was going on in Ukraine, no matter who was president right now, would she be in jail in Russia? Yes. You can't make up hypotheticals. Hypotheticals.
You just did. Wait. You just did. And I responded to it. You can't make this up. You literally can't make this up.
You understand? You can't make up. You can't make up. Listen, you can't make up hypotheticals. I can.
A better argument than me. Only I can make those arguments. You change the channel quick.
Exactly. You see, you understand. It's the way it works. That's how it goes.
Oh my god. Look,
it's late.
At the end of the day, Russia is notorious for doing things very differently. And, Russia is extremely anti-gay. Extremely. I mean, they literally disappear people. They are very anti-marijuana. They have very harsh laws against marijuana. And
of course they do.
And would she be a free person if the war wasn't going on? I don't think so right now. I think she would be free faster at some point, but I think that the course would play out. She would get sentenced. She'd probably serve a year or two, and then she would get out, is what I think would have happened. Because I don't think she would have served 10 years, which is, what they're saying she might. I don't think it would have happened that long, but I think she would be over there I don't think she would have been instantly released if this wasn't going on. I don't.
Now, this brings up a bigger point, because we're going to disagree on this one again. Let's bring the pay treatment into it. If she was a man, she'd be playing in the NBA, not the WNBA, because she is one of the best female basketball players in the world. And we were talking about this before the show. The women's soccer team, equal pay. So, I was looking up some numbers before the show.
Okay.
So a lot of the argument that was based in the public was based on the 2017 CBA, which was the one previous. And yes, back then, women were getting about, I think, 24% of what the men made. The new CBA, it's actually up to 89% of what they make based on their salary. And it works a little different.
What does that have to do with the men, though? The CBA is what they negotiate.
I understand.
It's the same thing like baseball. Like, why is Tony Clark still the head of the MLBPA? Like, the dude's a blathering idiot. He negotiated one of the worst CBAs of all time. Like, that's not the fault of football or basketball or any other sport.
But the disparity is now they get 89% of what the men make. And there's actually a difference in their contract. Their contract, they have a floor that they can make. So no matter what,
right,
they get $100,000 a year. The men don't have that.
See, here's the thing. I think this is the problem, okay? I think the problem here is you can't compare the WNBA to the NBA for many reasons, and none of which is because it's man versus woman, okay? None of it is that. The reasons you can't is the NBA has been around for 50-some years, and it was a merger of, well, I'm saying was a merger of ABA and NBA before that.
Oh, okay.
You know, it was the NBA 50-some years ago, right? So they have 75 years. The WNBA has what, 10, 15?
26.
Okay. But, I mean, the difference in the maturity of the leagues is vast. Okay? Look at baseball players 30 years ago, 40 years ago. They didn't make anything like what they make now. 50 years ago, anything like what they make now. Okay?
That's the second time I've heard that argument tonight. And I heard it from somebody that's very well respected besides yourself, and I do respect your opinion. So that's from two well-respected people, and I'm actually going to agree with you on that point.
I think that the problem is that you're comparing a mature league to an immature league. And I think that is a significant issue because when you look at the revenue streams, they are vastly different. And they're vastly different because of that. But I'm also going to take it a step further, okay? You are ruining women's sports because, believe it or not, I'm very pro women's sports, but the left is ruining women's sports right now because we are putting men with women and allowing men to destroy women's sports. Below average males that compete in the Olympics and are 500th overall against men and are now top number one against women because men are different than women. Biological males are different than biological women. Period. End of story. And you are going to ruin women's sports. We have Title IX for this reason. Okay? I have a young daughter. And I'm telling you right now, she should be competing against other young girls. Because that's the whole reason we have Title IX. That's the whole reason we have two sports. We have a biological male division and a biological female division. That's the whole reason. We don't have an issue with biological women trying to compete against biological men. Let them have at it. They could have for years. Why can't they? Because biological men dominate biological women physically. That's the reason why we have Title IX. That's the reason we have two separate sports, okay? And they're ruining it right now.
We had this conversation a couple of weeks ago.
And it pisses me off.
We both agreed on it. It
pisses me off, you know, because we are at a crucial point for women's sports right now where the growth can really happen because I saw more the women's college basketball commercials. ESPN had women's college basketball tournament on. I didn't see anything for the men's. I saw everything for the women's. They're pushing it so hard. And that's great. I'm all for that, okay? But what I'm saying is that this is a crucial turning point, and they're ruining it. They're ruining it.
So do you think that there's that many trans people that want to get involved in women's sports? Do you think that there's enough to destroy women's sports?
I think that if you have one male that pushes out one female from actually competing, from actually getting a scholarship, from actually having the opportunity to play sports, I think it is absolutely wrong and a travesty. And I think that ruins it because if I want to see male sports, I go see male sports. If I want to see female sports, I go watch female sports. I don't go watch female sports to watch a man play against females. Point in case, okay, and this gets brought up all the time because it's true and it's a great representation, okay? The reason that females can't compete with males in terms of physicality is shown through the women's U.S. soccer team, the national soccer team, after they won the World Cup in 2018, lost, like blown out 7-0 in a scrimmage against an 18U boys team. They were all 16, 17, and 18-year-old boys, and they destroyed the women's best team in the world. That's how much of an advantage males have. So to put that equivalent, okay, you take Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime, okay, against you in a strength contest, okay, that pales in comparison to the advantage that you have over the average woman.
I completely agree. I think it's a travesty. I can't even.
It destroys women's sports.
You know,
It destroys it.
I don't think it's happening enough to destroy women's sports.
Yes, but guess what? Once you open the door, it's not gonna stop. This is not a one-off thing. It's going to continue. As soon as you allow it to happen, it's going to continue until it's another men's sport. So it's going to happen.
I mean, I get you. I hear where you're coming from. I think somewhere there's a commissioner, a person that runs a league that steps up and stops that prior to that ever happening. You know, I think the majority of the public is on the side that we're on this one, that I can't see it ever getting to that. But I still agree with that.
Well, then if it can't ever get to that, then why are we here now? End it now. It's either all or nothing. There's no gray area. You can't say 1 or 2. Well, then it's okay. Well, 3 or 4. All right. Well, 5 or 6. No, you can't. It's one or the other. It's either wrong or it's not. There's no gray area with this. It's either wrong or it isn't wrong. It's one or the other. And the problem is that once you start going, oh, it's just one, let them go, is then what do you do when the second one comes around? It's just 2, right? It's just 2. Or you're saying you draw the line after 1? Why? This one is more female than the last one. She had the bottom surgery. She's more female. You let the first one go through. He didn't have the bottom. This one. Once you allow one, you start the road. It's black and white. There's no gray in this. It either is wrong or it isn't, period. You stand here now or women's sports are going to get ruined. This is the turning point of it. You either allow it to happen or don't.
Period. So when's the downfall of women's sports happening?
I'm saying that this will be the beginning of the end if it continues to permeate. If you continue to allow men to compete against women, it will end women's sports.
Do you think that there's enough transgendered men to become women that want to compete in sports?
I think that is irrelevant because that's like saying, do you think if we allow Russia to get half of Ukraine, they'll drop a atomic bomb or not? You're trying to count the chickens before they hatch. The issue at hand right now is this right or is it wrong?
To me, it's wrong, but
allowing something that's
now.
wrong to continue to happen in the name of being nice does not make it right.
Again, I don't make these decisions, so I don't allow it to happen.
Then why are we having a conversation?
Because it's happening, but
okay.
We don't allow it to happen. We don't have that.
Don't even talk about that one. We don't even talk about that one, where the UFC fighter broke 3 orbital bones of a female fighter.
What was the outcome of that afterwards? What did they do? Did they allow the woman to fight again?
She won the belt.
Did they allow her to fight again?
I don't know after that, but she broke 3 orbital bones.
When did that happen?
I think it was about a year ago.
So I'm curious if she fought again.
I'm not look it up. It doesn't matter. It's still wrong.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm with you on this. We're in rare agreement.
It starts happening in combat sports. You're gonna see them. A man's gonna kill somebody. That's what's gonna happen.
It's not a pretty thing.
In any event, we're at the half-hour mark. I think it's gonna be a quick show tonight. So I think I'm gonna call it at that. Let's agree and end the show for tonight and come back in 2 weeks and hopefully there's more topics.
I disagree. We should go all night.
All right. Well, you can go all night. I'm going to sign off.
No. So where can people find you?
So you can find me at a bunch of places, buying and selling sports cards at Golds _ cards is my IG. Trying to crack 4,000 followers, getting close to that. So give me a follow there. If you need help with taxes, I know tax season just happened, but I still have a lot of people on extension, a lot of people back taxes. If you're having issues or anything, give me a call. I'm a licensed CPA. I've helped many people out. AdamGoldsteinCPA.com is my website. JB, where can we find you?
JB Ellis, JB_ the program. Got so much going on. Monday night NBA carousel, Tuesday night Sideline Sports Ed Confidential, every other Wednesday here. I'm all over the place. Wednesday night also, we got the South Florida Tribune football show, 8 p.m. And then I take the rest of the week off. That's too much already. All right, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Make sure you're looking at the YouTube page at Sideline Sports 1. Follow at Sideline Sports 1 at Twitter. That's the news, and we're out of here.